Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. I have just witnessed England 6, Panama 1. Let's get it out of the way. Panama are absolutely terrible. That's the caveat. But isn't it wonderful to see England score 6 goals in any game, let alone a World Cup game. Star striker at it again. So no real negatives. Let's go through what happened. So after the much discussed Steve Holland team picture getting photographed the other day, the team was slightly different than the national press would have you believe, because Sterling did play after all. Maybe Southgate changed that just to annoy them. I would like that if he did. Pickford in goal, back three the same, Stones in the middle, Walker to his right, Maguire to his left. Trippier is the right wing back. He of the excellent set plays again today. Young, left wing back. Questioned a bit him and cutting inside and natural width, but we'll talk about that. Henderson sits with Loftus-Cheek in today ahead of Dele Alli. He was injured, and Lingard kept his place after missing lots of chances against Tunisia. And Sterling is playing off the Hurricane. Up front, the game starts. We expected Panama to be a little bit rough and ready, and loose kind of flailing arm from Gomez inside the first minute hits Lingard. Kind of a little idea of what was to come from Panama. Barcelona smashes one over, and then the next attack, Panama get a spare man, and Godoy's in kind of on the left and has a pretty poor attempt at that, but kind of good attack from them, and as good as it got for them really, because on 7 minutes, we need to learn this now in this World Cup. If England get a corner, they score generally. And exactly the same as the Tunisia game. Forgive me, I don't know what time the goal was in that game, but certainly an early corner and a goal there. Kane is being held on the edge of the box as they're lining up to take this. We knew the ref was going to be onto this after the Tunisia game. So they reset everything. Then Maguire is getting held again, and the England players are doing a good job of making a point of kind of trying to move away from the guys holding them and just sort of fall down. So everything gets in a bit of a muddle, and this is probably a mixture of a very well worked set play and the Panama players losing a bit of concentration after the 2 chats with the ref. But the corner goes in, the England runners split, a couple go left, a couple go right. Stones go straight down the middle. I must admit, I couldn't take my eye off Gomez and Maguire. So at the corner of my eye, I see Stones flying in, and he heads it in. Trippier again. Great for Stones. He puts the goal in, and England, another great start. Fantastic. Cooper takes the yellow for Panama on 9. Walker with a last-ditch clearance. This guy Barcenas is playing well. He puts the ball in, and Walker clears it out. Work down the Panama right, and same guy again, Barcenas tries to curl it with the left foot from about 20 yards. It's about 3 feet wide, but Pickford, it's normally a bit of a giveaway how much energy the goalie puts into the dive, and Pickford with a real big leap across the goal, so presumably a decent shot. 19 minutes, the first of 2 penalties here for England. So Lingard is played in down the right. Really good chest down, because he's kind of jumping and he cushions it on his chest, and the defending is so bad. So the ball bounces, it's up in the air, and all Lingard does is puts his body in the way, waits for them to touch him. He doesn't even need to make much attempt to play the ball. They bump into him. Lingard goes down and wins the penalty. He just does a number on the defender. So naive. Bit of gamesmanship from the Panama guys. Delay Harry Kane for ages, but Alan Shearer-esque ruthless penalty by Harry Kane across his body into the top corner. Bam! Straight after that goal, Loftus-Cheek gets booked. I haven't got a clue why, but look out for that. I don't know if there's a yellow card amnesty at the end of the group, so I don't know when they do that in this tournament, but we need to keep an eye on things like that. A good play by Panama on 28. Give and go on the edge. They try to play Rodriguez. Trippier gets a foot on it. I did think at first he'd actually helped them, but the other defenders did applaud him after he did that. Presumably that just took Rodriguez's eye off the ball, and he shoots tamely wide. Poor finish. Good chance there. Free kick in for England on 31 here. Big diagonal to the back post. Maguire is up. He wins the header. He can't quite crane the neck muscles enough to head it back to Sterling, who's basically on the goal line, lands on the roof of the net. It's an open goal for Sterling if Maguire can direct that header. And on 35, England go 3-0 up. This is a brilliant goal. So Lingard's got it on the left. He plays it. He kind of fizzes it into Sterling and keeps moving. Sterling, great ball returned back to him, right into his path. Lingard gets it out of his feet, and love it when players do this. Uses the centre half as a screen against the goalie. Curls it round the centre half, which just does enough to unsight the goalie. Right into the top corner. Great goal. Great for Lingard because like everybody was like, he should have scored against Tunisia, and we didn't want him to turn into one of these tournament players who just never gets a goal in a tournament for England. Good for Sterling as well to get the assist. We'd prefer a goal for him as well. But hey, 3-0, all going terribly, terribly well for England. In-swinging cross from Barcenas, drifts not far wide. That was in from the left wing with the right foot. 4-0 on 39 minutes. Literally all of England's attacks going in. It's a free kick, and it's a rehearsed routine. As an Ipswich fan, I'll call this a Paul Hurst routine, because we saw one of these for Shrewsbury in the playoff final. It goes short to Henderson, who comes kind of out from the crowd. He then chips it to the far post. It's headed back across, and this has completely flummoxed the Panama defenders. Sterling should score the first header. It's a good save by the keeper, and Stones comes in, so Stones actually gets his second goal from centre half. Call me a big whiny whinger, but later in the tournament, in the knockout phases, I just wonder if that free kick should have been saved for them rather than at 3-0 up against Panama in the group phases. I may be a big whiner, and maybe a bigger team wouldn't get caught out by that, but it just felt like that could have been saved for later. But I'm not complaining about England being 4-0 up, just merely making an observation. Lingard on the edge, deflected over, out it goes for a corner. This is just ridiculous. This is like no, you wouldn't even see this in League Two. This is like Sunday League stuff. So in goes the corner, and the replay showed that I think Stones is being held, or Maguire, one of them. But Harry Kane, the guy's literally, turned his back on the ball and wrestled him down. I just don't understand why they're doing it, especially having already conceded the penalty. Fair dues to the ref for giving it. What I'd like to see is that these refs have the balls to give one of them against Germany, or give one of them against Brazil, or against one of the big teams. It's all very well against Panama in the group phases, but let's see one of the refs give it against one of the big teams, and then I'll believe that this holding at the corners is actually going to stop. Can only be good for football, because this could trickle down into the Premier League and then further on, hopefully, when the new season starts. There's another penalty. Escobar gets a yellow for talking too much. Kane has to wait again, but he's got his mojo now. And it's always that interesting thing when a guy gets 2 penalties in one game. They always seem to have the advantage over the goalie, because the goalie's going, will he go the same way again? Will he go the other way? Goalie guesses he's going to go the other way. Kane's, no. Same place, top corner. 5-0 at half-time. Incredible half. Better than anyone could have expected. So, fantastic from England. I don't want to pour water on their achievement, because they were great. They did play really well, but Panama couldn't defend set plays and gave away 2 penalties as well. Although we will say the Lingard goal, you're going to score that against Germany, Brazil, Spain, whoever. No one's stopping that goal. So bit of both, bit of England playing as well as they needed to, and Panama are rubbish, yeah. Into the second half, and it's England stand off a little bit now. I've actually got no notes for the first 15 minutes of the second half, and the first thing that happens, I just hope England are not using up all of their luck in this one game, because ridiculously lucky goal for 6-0. Loftus-Cheek shoots, it's going to the keeper's left. It hits Harry Kane, who's like onside by about 1 millimetre according to the VAR. Completely changes direction and just lands in the middle of the goal. So Kane gets the hat-trick. Very, very lucky goal. We'll take it. But you know, if we get knocked out in the semi-finals and hit the post 3 times, everyone will say, why couldn't we have had that bit of luck that we had against Panama in that game? So great for Kane. Harry Kane has now got 5 goals in his first 2 games. So England definitely through. So he's going to play at least another 2 games. So he could be on for a very, very, very good total. And great stuff from Kane. You know, he's scored 2 headers from corners, 2 penalties, and 1's bounced in off him. So it's obviously working for him. However, think what he'll do if he actually gets some chances. You know, a couple of subs here. So Delph comes in for Lingard, presumably as a rest. Vardy comes in for Kane, same thing. Panama get in behind here. Bussiness feeds it through. Pickford makes the block. First time they've really kind of got behind the back line there. Bussiness, who I mentioned him about 3 or 4 times, was the best Panama player. He gets subbed on 68, which was a bit of a shame. For Arroyo, Beloy comes in for Gomez. Danny Rose comes in for Trippier, who's now, I think, along with Kane, England's most valuable player, I think, with these set plays that they keep scoring from. We need to remind ourselves, though, that this has worked against Panama and Tunisia so far and not get too carried away. Murillo takes a yellow card. The pace of the game is just slipping down now. Free kick headed out to Henderson. Good volley by him, but it's swinging away from the goal and just spins wide of the far post. Unlucky from him. Amazing chance for Torres here. You think this is going to be Panama's last chance to score. Corner goes into the near post. And you can see England's concentration starting to waver here. The flick on. Torres loses his man. Should score. He's arriving from the sort of back of the box. He's about 2 yards out and puts it wide. So you think that would have been their last chance, but they do get a goal, and you can see England's concentration is totally gone now by this point. Real mess, this free kick. So free kick's curled in, and half the England players stay, and half of them, you know, hold the line. And Beloy does a good job, sweeps it in, but I suppose we can forgive England. They've scored 6 goals. You know, for kind of going to sleep and not seeing out the clean sheet. But there you go. That proves that there's goals against England. Well, does it? I don't know. We still don't know against really good opposition in the World Cup. Sterling drives forward, curls it wide. Couple of sort of rogue chances for Panama in the 94th minute. So obviously fantastic. Expected England to win today. Expected England to hopefully win by a couple of goals. So 6-1 is absolutely brilliant. Loads and loads and loads of positives, but we do need to try and just keep the realism level up. Tunisia were very, very defensive. I actually think England played better in the first 25 minutes against Tunisia than in large portions of this game. It was a bit quicker and the passing was better. They had to do more to get past Tunisia, put it that way. But they did all they could today. We cannot get away from the fact that Panama were terrible and that probably a good team, you can probably chalk off 5 of those goals if you assume that good teams can defend set plays. Although England's set plays have been so good that they probably will work against the bigger teams. So maybe I'm wrong about that, but certainly the penalties were stupid and England got very lucky for the 6th goal, the one that bounced in off Kane. In terms of player for player, it looks very settled, doesn't it? The back 5. In fact, most of the team looks settled, particularly that unit with the 3 guys at the back. Henderson sat in front, the 2 wing-backs. We'll see how Young does against the bigger team, against Belgium, to see if my doubts about his his lack of width, him being right-footed playing on the left, makes any difference. We didn't really have to see the 3 centre-halves and Henderson, you know, under too much pressure and moving the ball very quickly today because Panama weren't very good. I'm glad Lingard scored. Good for Loftus-Cheek. I think Loftus-Cheek's got a lot of fans, but, you know, Dele Alli is clearly a superior player to him. But we'll see what's best for the team. I'm sure if Ali's fit, though, he's coming back in. Sterling got an assist today and Kane got 3 goals, so he's working up front. It'd be great for Sterling to, come into the games a bit more. Of everybody there, everybody looks like they fit into their position and they're doing their jobs. Maybe Sterling's the only one who hasn't quite got going yet. But great for him to get the assist. I was really rooting for that curler he had in the second half to go in. So it's very interesting now. There's one game left in the group against Belgium. Now against Belgium you're playing against Lukaku, De Bruyne and Hazard, who are just outstandingly good players who would all be in the England team if they were English. So it's a completely different calibre of players. The interesting thing is that it does a little bit take on this friendly edge, because ultimately both sides are going through. So you know, whether one of the managers I don't know, say puts the white flag up, but says, look, I'm going to rest a few players, and you know, makes it a little bit of a non-contest, we don't know. But I'd like to see England put the strong team out and, you know, say, right, how good is our strongest team against a decent nation? We're going to have to play one sooner or later if we go through the tournament. So we'd like to see England play the full strength lineup. We'll see how fit Dele Alli is in that regard this coming week. It's Thursday, so it's 4 days, between the game. The goal difference is exactly the same, so a draw isn't much use. I think it goes down to yellow cards. So it's going to be an interesting one. Looking at the other group, so you're playing against first and second from the group with Japan and Senegal, who've both got 3 points, Poland and Colombia. I guess you'd want to avoid Senegal. I think generally as a team, I know Poland have Lewandowski, but as a team, Senegal probably look like the hardest game there. But we will see what happens. I'm really happy, but we're going to learn a lot more about the England team after they play against Belgium. Let me know what you think in the comments. You think I'm on the right track? Thumbs up, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, follow me on Twitter @BenjaminBloom, and let me know what you think is going to happen against Belgium. Thank you for watching.